In the ancient realm of Outworld, where gods and monsters clashed for dominance, a new age of chaos was stirring. From the smoldering ashes of empires long dead, a single warrior would rise, destined to change everything. His name was Kotal Kahn. Our story begins in Zunkara, the magnificent golden city of the Aztec, shimmering under a brilliant sun. But on this day, dark clouds gathered, mirroring the storm of war that was about to break. Hordes of savage Tarkatans swarmed the city walls, their blades thirsty for blood. At the heart of the defense stood Kotal, a young, formidable general of the Aztec, fighting alongside his father, the sun god Kotal Kahn. With every gesture, they summoned searing beams of sunlight, incinerating the enemy ranks. But the greatest threat wasn't outside the walls, it was within. Betrayal, sharp and cold, struck from the shadows. Kotal's own cousin, Kotal Kahn, driven by jealousy, opened the city gates, unleashing Shao Kahn's overwhelming army upon his people. As the golden streets ran red with Aztec blood, Kotal Kahn made his last stand. Facing his son, his voice boomed over the clang of steel. "Never bow to darkness, my son. Remember, the sun always rises." A moment later, the sun god fell, struck down by the invaders. The city burned, a funeral pyre for a once proud civilization. With his world reduced to ash and his heart filled with a burning rage, Kotal fled into the unforgiving deserts of Outworld, armed with only his father's blade and the memory of his final words. Under the harsh glare of Outworld's twin suns, Kotal became a wanderer, a ghost in the wastelands. He was a prince with no kingdom, hunted by mercenaries eager for Shao Kahn's bounty, and stalked by shadow demons that fed on his despair. Every sunrise was a painful reminder of all he had lost. Yet, in that same sunlight, he felt a flicker of hope. The gods seemed to whisper to him on the rays of light, reminding him of his lineage, his power, and the destiny that awaited him. He wasn't just a survivor. He was the last heir of the sun. His solitary journey eventually led him to a hidden enclave of Edenian refugees, a small pocket of resilience in a realm consumed by tyranny. It was there he met Jade, a warrior whose grace was as deadly as her staff. Her speed was unmatched, her spirit unbroken. Where Kotal saw only the need for vengeance, Jade saw the path to true strength. She taught him that rage was a fire that consumed the wielder as much as the enemy. "You can't fight darkness with hate," she told him, her voice calm but firm. "You must become the light they fear." Heeding her wisdom, Kotal began to look inward. He stopped fighting the sun's power and started to embrace it. He learned to channel the solar energy flowing through his veins, not just to burn his foes, but to heal his wounds, to mend his spirit, and to rise again, stronger after every fall. He was transforming. The rage that had driven him was being forged into a new purpose, not to reclaim a lost throne, but to build a better future for all of Outworld. His journey through darkness was teaching him how to command the light. Years passed. Shao Kahn's iron-fisted rule had suffocated Outworld. Slavery, constant war, and unimaginable cruelty were the laws of the land. The realms bled under his tyranny. But from the desolate wastes, a new power was emerging. Kotal, no longer a vengeful refugee, but a hardened warrior king blessed by the sun god Tonatiuh, returned. He didn't come to bend the knee to Shao Kahn. He came to break him. The challenge was made. In the grand arena of Kahn, thousands of spectators from every corner of the realm gathered, their faces a mixture of fear and anticipation. Kotal stood alone, facing Shao Kahn's most fearsome champions. First came Baraka, the Tarkatan general, whose arm blades had slaughtered his people. With a blinding flash of solar energy, Kotal disarmed and defeated him. Next was Reptile, the elusive Zaterran, who fell to a searing solar flare. Then came Scarlet, the blood mage, whose power was extinguished by the pure light Kotal commanded. The crowd, once silenced by fear of Shao Kahn, began to roar. They chanted a new name, Kotal, Kotal, Kotal. Shao Kahn, watching from his throne, was unmoved. He descended to the arena floor, his infamous wrath hammer in hand, and laughed a deep, mocking laugh. "You dare call yourself Kahn? You are nothing but a shadow clinging to a forgotten light." Their battle was cataclysmic. The very foundations of the throne room shook with the force of their blows. But Kotal had learned patience. He waited. Through a shattered hole in the ceiling, a single beam of sunlight pierced the gloom. Kotal absorbed immense energy, letting the power surge through his veins. With a final, thunderous release, he unleashed a blazing force that neutralized his opponent. The tyrant was disarmed, defeated. But instead of delivering the killing blow, Kotal stepped back. "The sun does not kill the night," he declared, his voice echoing through the silent arena. "It outshines it." He turned his back on the fallen emperor and walked away, not as a conqueror, but as a liberator. A new day was dawning for Outworld. Kotal's reign began not with an execution, but with an invitation. He sought to unite the fractured tribes of Outworld, not through fear, but through mutual respect. He forged an unlikely alliance with the Tarkatans, the very race that had destroyed his home, offering them a place of honor instead of servitude. He negotiated peace with the four-armed Shokan and the proud centaurs. He abolished slavery, tore down the monuments of Shao Kahn's cruelty, and built new temples honoring both gods and mortals. For a brief, shining moment, peace settled over the war-torn realm. But peace is a fragile thing in Outworld. From the darkest corners of Shao Kahn's labs, a new threat emerged. Melina, the twisted, unstable clone of Princess Kitana, laid her own claim to the throne. With a growing army of fanatics, she launched a deadly rebellion, branding Kotal a weak ruler. She claimed his mercy was a flaw, that his vision of a united Outworld was a fool's dream. Kotal soon found himself besieged from all sides, his alliances crumbling under Melina's campaign of terror. Even worse, betrayal festered once more, this time from generals he had trusted, those who preferred the old ways of bloodshed and conquest. The light of his new era was beginning to flicker. The final confrontation came during a blood eclipse, when Outworld's moons conspired to blot out the suns, casting the realm into an eerie twilight. Melina's army stormed the capital, a tide of violence and chaos. Kotal's loyalists fought bravely, but they were overwhelmed. His generals fell one by one. In the chaos, even Jade, his guide and confidant, was captured. Kotal was forced back to the pinnacle of the Sun Temple, his power fading as the last sliver of light vanished from the sky. He stood alone, bloodied and cornered. Kneeling, he looked at the darkened sky. "If the sun must die," he whispered to the heavens, "let it die in flame." With a final, defiant roar, he summoned every last drop of solar energy left within him, pulling on the memory of the sun from the dying sky. He became a conduit for a final, desperate explosion of divine fire. The temple glowed, then erupted in a wave of golden light brighter than 1,000 suns. The cataclysmic blast incinerated Melina's entire vanguard, turning their screams to ash. When the dust finally settled, and the eclipse began to pass, a single figure remained standing. Kotal, barely breathing, grievously wounded, but alive. He had won, but the cost had been immense. He had sacrificed nearly everything to protect his people. In the quiet dawn that followed, a transformed Outworld began to heal. Kotal, scarred but resolute, walked among his people. He no longer wore the crown of an emperor. His title was a burden he had laid down in the fire. He was now something more, a protector. As he passed, the children of Outworld, Tarkatan, Shokan, Edenian, bowed not in fear, but in reverence. A faint smile touched his lips. He had lost a kingdom, but saved a world. As he looked up to greet the sunrise, the golden light shining in his eyes, he remembered his journey. He wasn't born a god. He became one, not through power or conquest, but through the light he chose to carry within him. And so, the sun rose again, not in the sky, but in the heart of a warrior who refused to let his world die in darkness.